Good morning, BenBinFro. And our reading today, the 27th of August, comes from Psalm 90, and I will be reading from the NIV version of the Bible. A prayer of Moses, the man of God. Lord, you have been our dwelling place throughout all generations. Before the mountains were born, or you brought forth the whole world, from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. You turn people back to dust, saying, "Return to dust, you mortals." 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by, or like a watch in the night. Yet you sweep people away in the sleep of death. They are like the new grass of the morning. In the morning it springs up new, but by evening it is dry and withered. We are consumed by your anger and terrified by your indignation. You have set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your presence. All our days pass away under your wrath. We finish our years with a moan. Our days may come to 70 years, or 80 if our strength endures. Yet the best of them are but trouble and sorrow, for they quickly pass and we fly away. If only we knew the power of your anger. Your wrath is as great as the fear that is your due. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Relent, Lord, how long will it be? Have compassion on your servants. Satisfy us in the morning with your unfailing love, that we may sing for joy and be glad all our days. Make us glad for as many days as you have afflicted us, for as many years as we have seen trouble. May your deeds be shown to your servants, your splendour to their children. May the favour of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of our hands for us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. So what can we glean from this psalm today? Well, it is believed that this psalm is unique among the psalms, with the authorship being attributed to Moses. So what is Moses trying to say to us through this psalm? Well, I'm going to be greedy and suggest two thoughts for us today. First, what life might look like when we are in his presence. The Duke of Wellington once remarked about Napoleon, "I used to say of him that his presence on the field made the difference of 40,000 men." The presence of a strong leader has a powerful effect, and history has continued to demonstrate this right up to our present day, with Donald Trump in the US, Putin in Russia, and Kim Jong-un in North Korea. However, we read in this psalm how much greater is the impact of the power of the presence of God. So when was the last time you felt the presence of God in your life? Through the fear and confusion of the COVID lockdown, has it been a while? I, for one, over these past few months, have often found myself squeezing God out and relying on my own abilities to navigate life at home and work, and often with rather mixed results. God is holy, and we cannot take his presence for granted. And if it has been a while, then where did his presence go? Has God, for some of us, become a little pie in the sky when we die? There is a deep spiritual hunger in all of our hearts that can only be satisfied by the presence of God, so that he might truly be our dwelling place. Adam and Eve lost this sense of his presence through their sin, and in the same way, sin can get in the way of God's presence in our own lives. So today, I wonder if we might take a moment to ask God to shine his light into our own hearts, and ask if anything might be holding back his presence in our own lives. And in so doing, we might live a life where instead life with God becomes cake on our plate whilst we wait. And the passage encourages us to get on with it. This psalm reminds us of the brevity of life, that we return to dust as mortals. We are like new grass that by evening is dry and withered, and our usual lifespan is 70 or 80 years. Each and every day we have on earth is so important. Let's not waste any one of them. And my second thought is a reminder of a challenge a friend once put before me. What are we doing now that will outlive us? Even though our lives are short and fleeting, according to this psalm, it is possible for our work to outlive us. Whatever kind of work we are called to, it will probably occupy a large proportion of our lives. Indeed, the average person will spend approximately 150,000 hours at work in their lifetime. That is to say, about 40% of our waking lives are spent at work. The psalm ends on this note of hope. May the favour of the Lord our God rest upon us. Establish the work of our hands for us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. We tend to think that things like our work, which happen when we are on earth, as nothing more than temporary or transient. However, the Bible paints a different picture. When Jesus returns, God is not going to obliterate this earth, but he will renew it, redeem it, and liberate it from its bondage to decay. Human work will also be purified and redeemed, so that it is free from sin, just as we will be free from sin. It is therefore right to ask God to establish the work of our hands. Work is an important part of God's economy. It is part of what we are created to do, and it has an intrinsic value. So what we do in our work can outlive us and have a lasting impact for good. So to conclude, may we take some time today to invite the power of the presence of God into our lives. And what are we doing today that will outlive us? Have a great day.